Oh, what is that bird kilometer in the background?
The what in the background?
The bird?
What
Has-
bird?
I don't know. It has some music.
Oh, that wasn't a bird. It was some kind of electronic effect.
Yeah, some electronic effect. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Affection Connection.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Love. I wish. Anyways, I am Ron Kolek. And what am I? Oh, yes, I am the life god of love.
Oh,
the
really?
Reverend of relationships. Yes. And with me, of course,
No
is...
third one? You got to have a third one. There's always three.
I know. And of course, is the amazing St. Jan with me, my darling wife.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
And the man who puts R in relationships, Mr. Lou Blasio.
Yeah, we still don't know what that means.
I don't even know what it means.
Still waiting to figure out what that means.
I have no idea. So, anyways, let me see. Okay, I'm on the website. That's all good. So, welcome back. Yes, it's been a month, a long month. We miss you, and we miss your questions. Not because we've got a whole bunch of them from you. You've been very busy.
I know, right? We're
And-
backed up.
Excuse me.
We're backed up. I get 4 sheets of questions here.
You have 4 sheets.
Yeah.
How'd you get 4 sheets of questions?
So some from last month.
Oh, I do.
Left over.
Oh, I get those.
Yeah.
There's some from just about every month. I mean, this is what, our fifth show?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Anyways, you can also chime in, right? Can they do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they're watching live, they can call the number at the top of the screen.
Which is 978-659-0072.
Or they can comment on the show in the chat, and we will respond to it.
Well, if we can.
If we can, sure.
We're in a hot debate. Just may not. I don't know. Anyways, I don't see this on the Affection Connection on our page. Why isn't it on our page there, Lou?
I don't know. Maybe you get a refresh.
Okay. Anyways, so why don't we just get right to it then while I play with my computer, as I always do. I had a laugh because I was on the Dr. Kim show when she was commenting. Actually, I think it was on it was on her own show the week before when she was introducing the show, when she says, "Oh yeah, Ron was doing whatever he was doing."
You did an appearance on a show. Well, we won't get into that because it'll just drag us off in the wrong direction.
It did?
Yeah, where you gave a term to you, what you do. And that was a big debate about what you do, or how we term it anyway.
What we do.
Yeah.
You do what you do. I want to watch live. Oh, I have to kill the volume on this thing, right? Don't I? I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's get to it because I'm babbling on for way too long. All right, Jen, you got a question for us? Let's go right to it.
Okay, let's start from the top. I'm a teenager and I have adopted.
You don't look it.
Thank you. Again, I'm a teenager and I've adopted the goth lifestyle and dress. My parents have accepted it, but other people are mean to me. They call me names like which I am not, and evil. I go to church regularly, but of course people don't know that. It hurts so much. Do you have any ideas to let people know who I really am? Well,
Could wear a sign, I am not a witch. I am not evil.
No.
we're a crucifix. Unfortunately,
No, that's not going to work because most of the people wear crucifixes.
Right. What I am going to say is that unfortunately, how you dress is what the message is that you are sending out. It may be hurtful, but that's how you choose to dress. Unfortunately, you might get negative comments.
Wow, that was pretty harsh.
I don't know if it's harsh.
I think it's harsh.
No, it's kind of a little dose of reality.
Why can't people live and let live? Why don't they stick their nose in somebody else's business?
Okay, you've been around for a long time.
I have been.
They can.
Long time.
They can, but people don't.
Yeah.
Well, they should, but people don't.
Yeah, and here's the biggest life lesson
Mhm.
you are going to learn. Speaking to this teenager,
Yes.
don't give a crap what people think.
Amen, brother.
Most of the time, there are people. There
Preach
are
it.
always going to be people who don't like what you're doing. There are
Right.
always going to be people who are going to have conflicts in who you are and try to characterize you. They try to put you down and make themselves feel better. You got to learn to embrace the people who care about you and you're close to and you vibe with. And you know, there's going to be a ton of people who don't. So screw them.
Very good, Lee.
And I would.
It's tough as a teenager. That's a tough lesson to learn because you want everybody to like you.
Of course you do.
Sure. I would give her a suggestion though.
Mhm.
Smile a lot.
Oh, very
Smile will melt people. It really will. If you have a good smile, you'll melt people. So be the smiling goth.
good.
I'm good for that.
Yeah, and you can't be too ensconced in people's opinion who you just
Right. And you can't take too much offense.
right.
Yeah.
People who you're just transitory with. You know, your friends, the people you hang out with every day, the people who know you, they're going to get to know you and who you are.
Let me make it perfectly clear. You are doing
Jan's
nothing
right.
You are doing nothing wrong.
Right.
Okay.
But Jan's right. You do the goth thing, though. You do invite a certain level of criticism, but yeah, it's all right.
But it's not your fault.
No.
It's
No,
other
it
people's
isn't.
faults.
It's right. It's
their problem,
it's-
really.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't bother you. If they don't like you, tough bananas. But I said smile at it because smiling works. It really does.
Very
So-
good.
There you go. Do you need a pen, Jen? I just thought of that.
Yeah.
You're going to be all right. Just learn that not everybody's opinion matters.
All right. Lou, why don't you take the next one while I go get Jen a pen?
You don't have one of my purse.
Oh,
then.
now you tell me.
Okay. I'm curious about this one. My best friend and I have been friends since we were kids.
Yes.
We've both been married to two wonderful women. Once a week, he and I get together either at his house or my house for fantasy football. That's nice. The problem is that when I go over to his house, his wife has the habit of walking around half naked, leaving little to the imagination. He doesn't seem to care. In fact, he often comments on how good she looks. She's a good-looking woman, so you can imagine the effect it has on me. We are all such great friends. How do I tell him or her that it makes me uncomfortable?
Ouch.
I would come right out and say it
To who? Him or
to the
her?
woman. She's the one that's in.
Oh, I don't think that's the route to go. But that's all right. I mean, go ahead. You say what
She's
you
the
want.
one that's not dressing. I would say that.
Well, she's not naked, so she is dressing. Just
Yeah. Still, I
not
would
too
just
much.
say your attire is a bit provocative. Could you?
You've been friends forever. How do you say your attire is provocative? It's like going to the goth one. You're goth looking. I mean,
Well,
she chose to dress that way, and the goth chose to dress that way. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
well, I think she's looking for attention. Shame on her.
What are your thoughts, Lou?
You know, get over it. I mean,
What?
we'll get over it. We're all adults. I mean, we've all had friends with attractive wives. You're attracted to them. It's the nature of the beast. Just, keep walking. What's the big deal?
I think she's doing it for a purpose.
So if
Well,
if she's hitting on him, that's one thing.
But
If
the
she's-
husband doesn't mind evidently.
Right.
So whatever it is, he's all into it.
if she's flirting with him, if she's hitting on him, that's a whole different story. But in her own house, the way she dresses in her own house, I mean, I don't know.
That's a tough one. It really is.
Yes, it is, but I'm old-fashioned and I believe in modesty. So maybe my perspective is, out of date.
Yeah, some people don't believe in golf style. So,
Yeah.
it's the same way. Just because you have that opinion,
That's fair enough, and especially fair enough if she comes over the other person's house or something like
It
that,
doesn't-
in the way she
yeah,
dresses.
it doesn't say that in there. So I don't
No,
think
but
that's
this is
the way.
in her home. This is
Yeah.
in her own home. She's amongst friends. She dresses the way
friends.
she wants to.
Good friends, evidently.
This guy finds it attractive. Okay, fine. Just shake it off and keep going. Be an
Yeah.
adult.
Hard to shake it off. They still have saltpeter.
Go home and see the wife. Remember the scene in It's a Wonderful Life?
No, go ahead.
In
Refresh my
a
memory.
Wonderful Life, very old movie with
Yes,
James Stewart.
Classic.
What was her name?
Donna
Big-
Reed was the wife.
No, not Donna Reed. The blonde, Violet Biggs. Violet.
Oh, yeah. The blonde. I
Yeah,
forgot
she
about
walks by them on the street and she's got a sundress on. She looks very attractive and she walks by and the three guys are just watching him walk by and the guy gets in his cab and he goes, I think I'm going to go home and see the wife.
it.
Which
Thank
for that
you.
time period,
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was that. That was an in the window.
innuendo, right?
Yeah.
In the window. Yeah.
So go watch the football game, play fantasy football, go home and see the wife. And it's like, I don't know. It's her home.
it's
Well,
true. That's
yeah.
that's the bottom line.
that is the bottom line. And beauty is to be appreciated. But
If I was going to talk to anyone, and I'm not sure I would talk to the husband. I wouldn't talk to her. Because you're like buds forever, right? It's like,
Mm.
your wife's wicked cool looking, and like, it's
So-
making me uncomfortable, dude.
That's going to create. That's
Yeah,
gonna
it
make
is. That's the
everybody
problem.
uncomfortable.
That's
Yeah.
the problem. Because
Yeah.
if he says something to her, then she's going to like, could the whole relationship between the
And
four
he
of them
talks
could
to
go,
your wife, and your
boom,
your husband finds my wife attractive.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get all kinds of
he
issues.
yeah, I know that because he mentions her name in the bedroom.
I mean, and by the way, half naked, we'd have to define those terms. I mean, one person's half naked is different from another person's half
This
naked.
is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Just accept it as a gift and go home and see the wife.
A gift. It's one way of looking at it, Lou.
You get lunch, you get a football game, and you get a show, and then just go home.
Okay. So, anyways, I want to go back, and this is an older one. And okay, yeah, this was I think from last week. I have friends, a married couple, who are always drinking.
Mm.
They are constantly posting photos of themselves on social media with drinks in their hand, and everywhere they go, it's the first thing they say: "Let's get some drinks."
I'm sensing a theme for the show.
Quite frankly, I swear, if they could find a way that would bring them to church. Wow. I feel bad for these people because people talk about their drinking behind their back. I am not sure how to handle this.
I don't think there's much you can do. It's their lifestyle.
Why do we need an intervention?
You notice nowhere in that note is there a mention of improper behavior because of the drinking.
No.
They don't.
It's just because they're showing up with drinks all the time.
It doesn't say that they get drunk. It doesn't say that they're obnoxious. It doesn't say that they're inappropriate. It
Right.
says they've all got a drink in their hands. So what?
So
This is the theme for the show today. Let it go.
drinking.
No, let it go. Jeez.
So
Skate your lane.
but
Right, Ron?
why? Yeah. Why is it important for them to have their pictures taken with drinks in their hands? That's what I'd be curious about. I would actually talk to them about it and say, every picture I see you got drinks in here. What's the deal with that? I mean, if they're friends of yours, are they good friends? Friends. That's all they say, friends. I mean, that's what I say. What's the deal with that? People are going to get the wrong idea. And I would just say it that way. I mean, quite frankly, quite out.
I don't know.
No?
I don't think I don't think they're being inappropriate. Maybe it says something about my life.
It doesn't say anything about any inappropriate.
Exactly.
It just says
so why is it a problem?
people are talking about them. That's what it
Well,
says.
people are always going to talk about something. So in this case,
Same thing about the goth teenager.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let them
Yeah.
talk.
There's a big difference between the goth teenager because she is getting the wrath of her lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, this one here is not getting the only behind their backs, which is probably worse than people being upfront with you. To be honest,
This person who wrote the letter has a life, right? Probably has a family.
I have no clue.
Yeah, we have no clue, but has a life, has a family, has work, has concerns, has things they have to deal with. Why is this such a priority issue for them?
Maybe he's a recovering alcoholic.
Well, okay, but that's his issue to deal with.
Maybe he's in HR and he realizes that the company seeing this stuff is getting the wrong impression too. I don't know.
impression.
Whatever.
You think a company would fire someone because the
They
social
can't.
media
They
has?
can't because it's a disease. It's a problem. So
Yeah.
you can't fire people for drinking. You
The
can
fact that they like to drink,
put them in
Yeah.
and they like to
programs.
take photos with a drink in the
Yeah.
hand is not a problem. If they're acting inappropriately, if they're acting obnoxious, if they're drunk, if they're driving drunk, if they're, offending people with their behavior because of the
I
alcohol,
don't know if
that's a
they're
whole nother story.
offending somebody.
Well, they have to get over it because
Certainly, this person, whoever wrote it, is offended by it.
That's the November theme. Get over it. that's
Okay.
that's
like
the
it.
November theme. It
November
looks like,
theme.
it sounds like today. I don't know. I think this is people getting in other people's business. It feels like to me because these people aren't troubling anybody. They're not acting inappropriately. They just have a drink in hand.
Yeah.
God bless them.
I agree with you on this one, Lou.
Yeah. All right. So I'll pass it down. These questions aren't marked off, so I thought I'd cover up some of the ones we missed, but some of them are. Oh well, I'll deal with it. All right. So you have one first, Jen?
What
I
about
think
Lou?
we're good with that. What?
Doesn't Lou want to read one?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yep.
I thought didn't you get one?
I got one. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he did the second.
The
one.
half naked girl.
Yeah.
The half naked
okay.
one.
Don't you remember the half naked one?
okay.
I
I
knew you-
like this one. I like this one.
Oh, Jen likes this
I'm a
one.
35-year-old man. My parents raised me to be polite. If I reach a door and there's someone behind me, I hold the door for them.
Oops.
Very few people say thank you or even acknowledge it. Some women have even been hostile. What are your thoughts on this? If
I
somebody's
know
nice,
your thoughts.
if somebody's nice enough to hold the door for me, I will say thank you very much. Yes, I can open my own door, but it's a courtesy. It's an old-fashioned courtesy. That why should you be rude to somebody that's trying to be nice to you?
I think you should, but I'm not bothered if you don't. How
Oh,
often does that
wait,
happen?
wait a minute. First of all, do you hold doors for
Yes,
people?
I do. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm one of
Male and female, or just female?
both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of these old-fashioned guys. I'll walk on the street side of the sidewalk, that type of thing. I'll hold doors. Things that got open doors.
Do you know
for
why?
people to get
Do you know where
cars.
that came from? Walking on the street side?
People throwing stuff out of the window, throwing
The pot-
bedpans out of
Yes.
windows.
And also from the horses and carriages going on the streets and kicking up the shit. Which not
Honestly, I don't remember ever having held the door for somebody and not getting a thank you
really.
or a nod or something, some sort of acknowledgement.
I've done it and had that. I've had people actually be hostile to me as well.
There's no reason to be hostile.
It's like I can open my own damn door. It's like okay, fine.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just a sad person.
Isn't it sad?
Yeah, that's just sad.
Now, I held the door open for some man coming out of CVS one time, and there were two doors, and I saw him there, so I waited, and he walked right off with not even acknowledging me or looking at me or anything. I said, well, you're welcome.
I've actually, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't you actually yelled, "You're welcome"?
Yeah, that'd be me.
Can I expand this to a related, but
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here in Massachusetts, I don't know how prevalent this is elsewhere,
Mhm.
but when you're trying to cross a street or you're trying to cross at the grocery store, that last roadway before you get into the store, right? A lot of times people will stop for me unnecessarily. It's like I'm perfectly willing to wait for that car to go by. Just do what you're supposed to do. Everybody will be fine.
That's politeness.
But they stop and they just back up traffic, and then I feel like a jerk because I'm holding up traffic and things like that.
Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Except wow. See, he's one of those guys that's not appreciative, Janet.
No, on the roadway, what I need you to do is what you're expected to do.
Mhm.
Don't stop when there's no stop sign. Just go. I'll find the spot and go through, stuff like that. I need you to act the way you should be acting. Do what you're supposed to do, and everything will take care of itself.
That's also if you consider letting other cars in. Now this is a problem. It's not only a politeness problem, but also a safety problem. And I know this happened to Janet in that somebody had stopped it was a 4-lane highway. Someone had stopped to let her car go by, and it was a street coming there.
Yep.
And Janet was in the other lane, and she kept going, and this car came right out and hit her.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't aware that car was coming out.
Right.
So she just thought that guy was making a turn. You remember that?
Was that when I was working in Woburn?
No, that was the one on the boulevard when you get flipped over.
Oh, that, yes.
Yeah, right by Cemetery Street there,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Yeah.
And
So that's dangerous too.
One car has a stop sign, which means they are supposed to stop and wait until there's an opening.
Oh, God.
If you're on the road, go. Do what you do.
Yeah.
They'll find the spot.
Or the yield.
Yeah.
The yield annoys me too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yield means you do yield. It doesn't mean you keep going. But then again, it doesn't mean you stop either.
Yeah.
If it's open, you just keep going.
And speaking of doing what you're supposed to do, pedestrians, when there's a crossing light.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. Well, I drive in Massachusetts, so I have a lot of pent up anger.
I guess we all do.
If you're at a crosswalk with a crossing light,
Mhm.
do not go unless the light stops. Do not stop unless the light stops you. You don't give way for pedestrians when
Right.
there's a crossing light.
No.
When
you
there's a
don't.
crossing light, you wait for the light.
Right, I agree with you.
This I remember when it was a main street in Andover. In fact, the crossing signals had voices to them.
Oh yeah. Sometimes they do.
Don't
for the,
go.
for the deaf.
So they would yell at you if you
If I can
crossed.
still call them deaf, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. My husband and I have been married for 13 years. We have a dog, Buck, for most of those years. He's a big dog and very devoted to us, especially my husband. Sometimes when we watch a movie or show together, Buck wants to sit with us on the couch, always in between us.
Uh-oh.
This is getting to be annoying. I consider this our time and want to snuggle up next to him, but Buck has other ideas. I've tried to prevent him from doing this, but my husband just takes the dog's side and it usually ends up in a spat. How do I get back my snuggle time?
Well, obviously that's a case of priorities, and I think the wife should be the higher priority.
Yes.
But,
But it's a big dog.
Yeah.
but with all this stuff going on in your marriage, that's your big thing you want to draw a line on.
It can be a big thing. I have a dog issue as well, but
Yeah, but still,
And
I
I
mean,
love
we
the
talked
dog,
about
but-
it on the previous shows. You got to pick your battles. Is that
Yeah.
that important that you would create a problem on?
no,
Well-
I don't think this woman has a major problem. Well, she has a problem, but
She
she's
has a
just looking
problem.
for advice on how to
She's
handle
calling
Yeah.
to us, so
it. Yeah.
Right.
she has a problem.
In the scheme of things, she is obviously should be before the dog.
Yeah.
You know, the dog is there to be loved and to bond with the family, but a dog is still a dog. It's a pet.
Yeah,
The wife is his wife.
yeah, but the dog doesn't know better. Or
So
does it?
that's why
Or
you
does it?
that's why you train a
If it was a
dog.
cat, I could see because they
The
know better.
dog is
They're just
living with you, not vice versa.
I say this as a person living with a dog who has some obstinance to them. It's not that they can't learn, they don't want to.
Right.
And this is what's probably happening with Buck, but you got to try to move him to the end of the couch, or get yourself a little one of those big ottoman hassock things and put it next to the couch. Try to get the dog on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the husband, the one thing you can't do is take the dog's side. At least
Right.
acknowledge to the wife there's a problem. Don't defend the dog.
Very good. Thank you.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you can't fix it, even if you don't have a solution at the time, you don't tell the wife, well, no, the dog gets to sit here.
Well,
You
I
don't say
don't.
that.
I don't know because like it says, the dog is devoted to the husband, so they must have a great bond together between the two of them.
Sure.
So it's not that easy just saying, oh, because
The
they
wife
always
comes first, though.
yeah, but it looks at it. Well, let's put it this way:
At least
if
in
you had a
conversation.
child, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at it this way: if you had a child that wanted to do that, who comes first?
Well, the child.
And the child goes to bed early, unlike the
Oh,
dog.
wait a
doesn't
minute.
stay
Wait
up.
a minute. We never said the child was early. Maybe she's a
Oh,
teenager.
wait a
Maybe
second. I was going to say, how old is the
yeah,
child?
we don't.
A teenager would not be sitting in between mommy and daddy.
Whatever. So if she doesn't go to bed early or everything, you still pick the side of the child
I
over the wife.
I don't know.
I'm not hearing
Is
anything.
the child like 5 or 6 or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, it
She's young.
depends on the
She's
age
gonna be
of the
young.
child.
She's gonna be young. Young enough that she wants to sit between you. How many teenagers want to do that? Okay.
Yeah, spend a little time with the child and put him to bed.
Right. That's what I say. The
Yeah.
child should be in bed by 8 o'clock.
I don't know how to fix the dog problem because I'm not an accomplished dog trainer. I don't know how to fix the dog problem, but what I know is a problem is the husband siding with the dog.
Yeah.
At least in conversation, even if you do side with the dog, you don't say it. There are certain things you've heard the saying, right? You can think it, but don't write it down.
Don't
You can
say
think it,
Yeah.
but don't say it.
Yep.
And you can think the dog, it's okay for the dog and you're all right with it, but don't say it to your wife. Say, yeah, honey, I know it's a problem. Let's see if we can figure out something to do with this. And at least,
Acknowledge that she feels
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, acknowledgement.
I don't know. It's first of all, I would not take the child over my wife. Sorry. I married my wife. The child came along.
I understand.
So yes, we nurture them and that's our job. But so my solution, if I had a child, was okay, honey, you can snuggle up to me, Elizabeth or whatever your freaking name is. You're on the other side of me, okay? So you're not coming in between me.
So if your child has a bad dream or there's a thunderstorm,
Yes, you can go see daddy, you can see mommy, but you see her on the other side.
Oh, really?
That's what I just said.
Okay.
Do you want me to repeat it for you?
No.
I'll spell it out.
All right. No, I understand.
My
your
wife
position.
comes first.
Another part of that
I don't
issue,
think they're mutually exclusive. Accommodating the child and putting your wife as a second priority.
Oh, you
I don't
are.
think
You
it's-
are accommodating. Yeah, come and sit next to me. You still allow them next to me. My wife can snuggle to me and everybody's happy. She can either snuggle, sit next to me or sit next to my husband or my wife, but you're not sitting in the middle. My wife wants to snuggle, let her snuggle.
Okay.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's an interesting debate. But what about the dog? We're talking about a dog here.
All right, so the dog, I actually have an easy solution.
Mhm.
All right, so you get like a special toy, something the dog would really love, and he's only allowed to have it when you're snuggling on the couch. So you snuggle on the couch and you throw the toy across the other room, snuggle in, and done deal. Or if that don't work, you use treats as well. So here, have some treats. Get the frig out of here.
Yeah, treat the dog like a husband and distract him with food
Exactly, exactly.
or booze.
Yeah, or toys.
No, that's probably a good solution. Yeah.
That's my solution.
Set up a reward for him abdicating the spot in the middle.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you got to make the wife happy. I'm sorry.
Yep.
All right.
But never, ever say I side with the dog. Never.
No,
Just don't say that.
Thank you for
It's
that.
not smart.
I never said I sided with the dog. How come he gets a thank you?
Because I like what he says.
No, you didn't point out that the real problem here is the husband siding with the dog. It's not the dog.
Okay.
It's the husband siding
There's
with
one
the
on
dog.
here I want to handle after Jen's stupid comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Ow! Okay. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I am a college-educated woman who works at a medium-sized company. Whenever we are in staff meetings, my suggestions always go ignored.
Oh.
If accepted and we have a discussion, my boss always thanks the man who comments on it and never me. It infuriates me. What should I do? Well, Jan, that sounds familiar to me.
Well, I've never been in a position like
You just were 2 minutes ago. You've done that to me so many times. I would come up with something, Lou pontificates on it, and you thank Lou, you agree with Lou, and I'm like,
No,
chopped liver.
See, in that last situation, you misinterpreted that situation because I brought up a point that you didn't address.
At two, Brutus.
Yes. My point was unique and was
Oh,
not addressed
unique. Oh,
otherwise.
I'm very unique. Ron,
Yes.
you're not, so screw you.
Yeah.
Fine, okay.
But I was trying to say in that meeting, it's a level of her professionalism in the office. And it seems like the boss doesn't really respect her contributions. And
Exactly.
I can understand her
That's the way
feelings
I
about
feel,
that.
by the way.
So that's my contribution to that. How she handles it depends on how confident and how tough she is.
You got to talk to the boss.
Lou?
You got to talk to the boss.
Yeah.
And the approach is that you have to be able to have your input taken seriously in those meetings. You have to have a certain level of credibility. And the boss is controlling that level of credibility for her and undermining it.
Right, exactly.
Right. So it's to be effective, and the way I would approach it, to be an effective worker for you, to be able to contribute for you,
Good point.
I need to have the respect of the people in that room, which means I need to be credited when I bring up an idea.
Yeah.
Because he's undercutting her in her mind, at least, and probably in reality.
Yeah, he's trying to play the old boy network and, push her out.
So, Lou, I agree with you. I think that's a good idea, Lou.
Me too, see?
However,
Thank you, Ron.
that being said,
Yeah.
I think that she has a serious problem with this guy, evidently, because she
Yeah.
mentions when she says, like, if a guy expands on it. So it seems like this guy is sexist to me because she's a woman. And maybe we don't know the dynamics, because she mentions clearly that she's college educated. We don't know if he is. So maybe he is even intimidated by her, which he doesn't want to give her any credit for anything. So I would, quite frankly, I would look for another job. It's not a
Sure.
good situation. Yeah, get the hell out of there, because I
That's
don't think
always an option. Sure.
I don't think you're good. I don't think they're going to treat you any better or worse if you complain. Probably worse if you complain. But yeah, I just I would suggest that you look for another job, and then you can tell them to stuff it.
There's a potential too, just to bring this up. There's a potential too that she's sexist,
Whoa!
and that her perception
whoa,
of what's
whoa,
going
whoa.
on here
Yeah, it could
is
be.
a little different than what's going on. She might be ultra sensitive to not getting the level, in her mind, not getting the level of respect that men get. So I would
Or she's not getting the level of respect. that
or
men
she's
get.
not. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I would guess this is the latter better than the first. I
Probably.
don't think she's, but whatever. I mean, she's college educated. Well, doesn't mean anything. Never mind.
Probably, but I would approach the boss, and I would approach it not in attacking the boss. I would approach it from the standpoint of, for me to be effective for you, I need to have standing in that room. And the way you respond to some of my ideas kind of undercuts me in that room, and I need you to be aware of that.
I think that's a good point. And
Yes.
it's the best
You
way to
say
do it.
in a respectful, non,
Yeah.
threatening
you
way.
give him one chance, and then you get the hell out of there. I'm serious. That's not a good situation. I would definitely leave.
Yes, but you don't start the fire before you have the other job.
Yeah, but you always have something backed up, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
start looking now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't think he's going to change, then I'd be looking for a job. I mean, you can still approach him, but if you got that ace up your sleeve, you're in much better shape.
Taking this on face value, if what she says is true, and
Yeah, I mean,
he's
that's all we have to work with is what
he's
questions are.
sexist. And by the
Yeah.
way, stop paying attention to how he deals with other women in the company and stuff like that. If he is sexist, then yeah, you have to get out of there. You have to find another position.
Well, you could sue
Well, okay. I don't
like
know.
everybody else does. But anyway, that's it, right?
That's
our
it.
suggestion,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants next?
You take it.
No, I just did that one. Remember?
Okay. I'm a woman who works in a large office in a cubicle farm.
Ooh,
My
another
coworkers
office story.
think that whatever is theirs is mine, is theirs, and are constantly taking things from my desk.
Oops.
Usually I can track them down and they say sorry, but continue to pilfer my desk. How can I remedy the situation? That would drive me insane.
Yeah.
No respect for other people's property.
What kind of work environment is this?
Yeah.
That's the one of large officers.
What are we talking about, though?
Probably just
Are we talking office supplies? Are we talking candy? Are we talking
I don't think candy. because
personal
she
items?
tracks it down, so the candy comes back. If it was candy, so if they ate it, they ain't coming back. So it's got to be items that they use in their job, whatever it is.
I mean, is it like a stapler?
Could be a stapler.
Her headset?
Oh, but look,
Yeah.
well, let's take a look. Yeah, it could be the headset. I mean, you know that, and here with the equipment and stuff, right?
Yep.
I mean, you've worked in the station for 100 years, and I remember back in the early days, we'd come in and
Those adapters.
those adapters for the freaking headsets. You knew what I was thinking,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, those adapters are like gold, and they just went all over. the
Yeah,
place.
people would just steal them on you and borrow them on you. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I understand her frustration. But then again, if it's not truly her property, right? If it's company property,
Right.
then
But if they're taking a stapler, normally everybody who works in a cubicle farm like that would have the basics.
start off with.
But they
who-
lost theirs.
They
or-
lost
Yeah.
theirs. It was or theirs was borrowed
Yeah.
or whatever. So I can understand that. I mean, evidently whatever tools she needs to do her job, or maybe not, I don't know. But she has, and when she goes to use it, she can't have it. But so she has to track it down somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I've never.
I bet
run
you she's
into
one that
that.
puts the names on everything, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Excessive compulsive. That
Oh, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Spray
Really?
painting them a different color or something.
Really?
Yes, paint that stapler.
I just lock everything up at night and say, screw you.
Yeah, that's
yeah, you could do that too. Yeah.
that's the Occam razor solution. The simple solution is if you get a locking drawer, put them in the locking drawer. If not, bring in a little lockbox or something. I don't know.
Ron had a similar thing happen to him at work. Okay. He works at
My son.
yeah, that's son. And you think I was George talking third person, first person, whatever the hell it is. But anyways, yeah. When Jan's father died, he took the silverware from the house and brought it into work so they could have silverware at work. And what they did is they divided up between the two shifts, his shifts and their shift. Well, what happens is the silverware started to disappear, and then eventually they ended up each of them locking in their drawers. Well, somebody didn't lock their drawers on his shift, and he went in, and the next shift had taken all the silverware and locked it up in their drawer.
Okay.
So yeah, you had that little. It's basically. I mean, he's the one that brought it in, so it infuriated him more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can understand the frustration of that, especially that since that was personal property
Right.
that he brought in.
Yeah.
But if it's company property, you can't really. The way I look at it, you can't really say anything about it.
Yeah. Well, talk to a boss.
What do you think, Jan?
I mean, the environment is created there where it's the Wild West, and maybe the boss can calm that down a little bit.
In that one, I would have had the ones for for my shift. I would have locked them up, and nobody except people in my shift could use them.
No, we're talking about this one now, not
Yeah.
not Ron's. Her personal property. What will you do?
Oh, I'd lock it up.
You're locking up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So you think it's wrong then, right? Okay.
Oh God, yeah.
All right.
You don't think it's right to lock it up?
No, he said, "Do you think it's wrong?" And I said, "Yeah, it's wrong. People shouldn't be taking our stuff."
Right. Respect other people's
Yeah.
property. Yeah. Even if it's company property.
But you need tools to do your job.
Right.
So if you don't have it, then you have to get it from somewhere.
Get a
The supply
locking drawer or
cabinet.
bring in a lock box or something. I don't know.
Everybody should have what they need for their job.
Yes, everybody should have, but it doesn't happen evidently, and people borrow stuff. So if you need things to do your job, you're going to take them. Now remember, the bottom line, and this is company property. It's not hers. We're assuming, of course. I'm assuming, I should say. So yeah, I mean, it's still company property. It's still available for everyone to use.
But not if it's in your cubicle.
Why not? It's not like.
Because if they need a.
So when you walk in the door, they say, "Oh, here's your stapler.
No,
here's
no.
your thing." No, it's there.
Ronnie, I worked in business.
I know you
like,
have.
all my
Yes,
life in
I have worked
cubicles.
too, by the way.
Everybody has their basic needs: stapler, tape, whatever. If you have to constantly borrow something from somebody else, then you should have your own.
Then maybe it's a supply problem with the company.
Right.
So
you
it's
can
not the
address
work.
it
It's not the worker's problem.
for taking what is
It's
not
the
at her
company's
desk.
problem.
You go to your boss and say, "This is very basic. I need this, this, and this."
And he'd say to you, "Okay, well, they need it too."
Well, it's a company problem because the boss has created an atmosphere with which anybody can take anybody off anything's desk.
Wait a minute.
But she still has
did
to
the
function.
boss create that problem, or did the company create that problem, but not providing enough equipment?
But the
Okay.
boss can address it from his level.
Well, he's still not going to, because people need stuff to do their job. So he's going to hold up an order because they don't have a whatever, I don't know,
No,
a headset.
In the long term, he has to provide everybody. with
Not
what they
him,
need.
the company
The
has
company,
to provide. Yes.
But he's the one to address it because he's the boss.
Okay.
Sorry. I get passionate. at
So
times.
in that case, then yes, you would say, okay, we don't, you don't go and say, okay, people are taking my stuff, because right away it's not your stuff. What you do say is there is not enough stuff to do our jobs in the company. We need more
Yes.
of this. We need more of that. We need more of that.
You can feel
And
one
you can
way-
explain why, because I have stuff in my desk and it's disappearing and I have to track it down. So
Yes.
there's not enough for the company. So you don't make it as the other workers' fault. It's not their fault. It's
Well,
really not their fault.
None of this discussion is helping this woman. What does this woman do?
She goes to her boss and tell them there's not enough stuff to do their jobs, and tell them why, because people are always borrowing the things I have. So therefore they must not have their stuff to do their job. So we need more stuff, whatever stuff is.
And what good do you think that's going to do?
Wait a minute, aren't you the guy that wanted to go talk to his boss about the woman who was like sexist? So it's his job. He's a boss. It's his job to handle those
Yeah,
problems.
but that's a personal problem between the woman and
That's
him.
a personal problem too. He's got to go to the company and to resolve this, make sure everybody has enough stuff. So
Yeah.
it's his job. He gets paid big bucks for this. You don't.
I
You get
understand.
paid to do your job. And if you can't do your job because somebody's hoarding stuff, then there you go.
Well, I think the first step is you should talk. If there's one particular person that does it all the time, or maybe when they have a lunch, say, "Hey, I have a staple on my desk. Expect it to be there when I need it, not having to go hunt it down in somebody else's cubicle." I mean, you can
And
go out and borrow somebody else's
She says
car.
they're sorry. So evidently they are sorry, but they just need it.
Not sorry enough that they bring it back when they're
Because they
finished.
needed to do their job. So that's the bottom line. The company is at fault here, not the
Yes.
co-workers, the company, not the boss, the company. It's her job to address the problem with her boss, tell them that the company is not providing enough equipment for everybody, and explain why. Because stuff that I have to do my job is disappearing and I can't do my job. But I understand because other people are trying to do their job and they can't because we don't have enough stuff.
Wow. Hate to say, but you're turning the tide of my viewpoint on that one.
I don't know. It's just my point of view. So that's what it's all about. This whole show is about point of view.
Mm.
I can be passionate at times, huh?
That was very good.
You got anything?
Let's see.
I hope we answered your question, young lady. Go talk to your boss about the company not providing enough equipment for everybody to do their job properly.
This is a question aimed at Ron and Lou. I play hockey with a group of men. I play hockey with a group of men, and I knew Ron and Lou did. Sometimes after the game, we go out for drinks, and every so often, we go to a strip club, which I'm uncomfortable with. It's not my cup of tea. I really don't want to go and waste my money How can I get out of this?
Ah, Lou.
Yeah,
That's a toughie, really.
it is.
Yeah, because you don't want to seem like a P. Right?
Yeah. But the act of going to the
Go
wasting money thing kind of throws me.
Mm.
Like as opposed to going to what, Applebee's or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A strip club's a lot more expensive than Applebee's. So
Strip
you pay, well, what, $10 for a drink, and Applebee's are like $5.
I don't know how much drinks you can get
I
at
don't know.
Applebee's. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You know, I just.
Well, if it's a money issue,
And then
it's a money
then
issue.
there's all the dollar bills. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but you don't have to participate in that. This is the thing.
Wait a minute. She's shaking your booty in front of you. You're not going to dish a dollar? You cheap bastard.
It's not a matter of being cheap. You can go to a
Did you
strip.
write this?
No, I didn't. I didn't make this. It is a tough one, especially on a hockey team, because the hockey team is
team.
about camaraderie and
And toughness.
yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
I don't know.
You said that like it doesn't count.
No, toughness counts, but I don't
Yeah.
know how going to a strip club demonstrates your toughness.
Because you don't want to seem weak.
You're weak by not wanting to go to a strip club?
Yeah, I don't want to go with you guys because there's naked girls there.
No, you say it more like, "No, that's not my thing. I'd rather go home."
And they're going to say, "Ah, come on, Ron, we'll have a drink." And we're just going to have a couple
So
drinks.
are you going to be a baby at that point and give in to your friends just because you don't want to seem lower in their eyes?
Once again, it's a team.
Yes, but
Yeah, with a hockey team, it's kind of interesting. Go and have a beer and go home.
Yeah.
Go and have a beer and go home.
yeah, but you don't have to go to strip club.
No, wait a minute. They're going to a strip
Yeah,
club.
it's
So
It's
he
not
doesn't
like
have
chewing.
to go with them.
Go have a beer and go home.
I mean, you can blow it off once in a while if you have an excuse. But if you knew you were going to the strip club before the game, they probably don't. They probably like afterwards. Let's go. Where do you go? Hey, where do you want to go? Oh, let's go to the strip
Yeah.
club. Okay, so then you're already tied in. So it's gone.
You go have a beer. The rest of the team's engaged in whatever they're doing, and then just I got to head home.
Yeah.
Make a showing and do the camaraderie thing, and then just go home.
You got to go. If you know ahead of time, there's a chance you can bow out of it. And I don't know how often they go, but yeah, you got to go.
Well, like Lou says, go have one drink and then make your exit.
You
So
still
you
got to
showed
go.
up.
Yeah, I hate to have it phrased that way, but yeah, you go have a beer, show your solidarity,
Yeah.
and go home.
You definitely.
Yeah.
Because you could always go and say, guys, I'm not feeling that good. I took the third period. I've got to think I'll go rest my wrongs.
But there's deeper angst here. It may be just money, I guess.
Could be money because
Yeah.
he mentions money. Yeah.
Could be, but like I said, go have a beer and go home. You're not spending a ton of money, so you
Yeah.
spend $8 for a beer or $10 for a beer. Who cares?
He says he's uncomfortable too. So I think it's more than just money.
He's uncomfortable with it, but you only need to be uncomfortable with the strip club if you participate in the strip club activities. In other words, if you're sitting up at the bar,
Well, no.
You're sitting up at the pole and
no,
throwing ones at the girl.
No, and wait a minute. No, because this is very similar to the other question where the guy's wife is running around half naked and he's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
So how is it different?
well, in this case,
He's not having. He's not participating. He's just having it flaunted in front of him. So this guy maybe feel the same way that the other one. I don't like to see
Well,
half naked women or naked woman.
well, unless this guy has a personal relationship with the strippers and their boyfriends, it's not really similar at all.
Yes, it is. Because it's a situation. It's a situation that's occurring that he has no
But
control over.
the woman in the strip club is being paid. That's what she chooses to do.
Well, we're not talking about the woman. We're talking
But
about
wait a
the
second.
guy.
What was my advice about the guy whose friend's
Suck
wife
it up.
was half naked?
Suck it up.
Suck it up. Be an adult, for Christ's sake. It makes you uncomfortable. Okay, go have a beer and go home. What's the big deal?
I'll go with you've got to go. There's no doubt in my mind you do have to go.
I think, yeah, like I said, I hate that phrase, but it's
true. It's true with a team. You know that, and
Right,
I know
the
that.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I agree with that.
I mean, I've done things that I had to do that I didn't particularly want, but I
go
did.
sit at the bar with your back to the pole, have a beer, and then
Oh, it's even worse
why?
because then they get you from behind. It's worse. They want to get your attention.
Yeah.
You need those dollars.
hockey team going to a strip club? When does that ever happen?
Yeah, never. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to break from the routine a little bit because I have probably the worst Dear Abby I have ever read.
Okay, great.
This is absolute. I was
Done with it?
mortified by it. That's a big word, mortified.
Yes,
huh?
it is, dear.
Yes, it does.
Mortified.
Okay, you ready for this, Lou?
Yes,
Okay, because you're not listening.
I am listening. I'm just catching up. And
My
knocking off the questions.
16-year-old daughter, Lily, came home from her father very upset. She was having trouble sleeping, and I have been taking her to the doctors for tests. Her father told her not to tell anyone and handed her a vibrator and told her that an orgasm will help her sleep. Lily was shocked and embarrassed that he would make such a suggestion and give her such a thing, and asked me if she could throw it away. She no longer wants to go to his house, but wants me to be the one to tell him. Oh, okay, all right. So she no longer wants to go to the father's house because she feels uncomfortable and wants her to tell him. I am furious that he would use such a poor judgment with a 16-year-old daughter. He feels that he has an open relationship with her and that I am being approved. I feel that that what he did is extremely inappropriate, but I'm not sure how to handle it. This is from Dear Abby, so I'm not taking any
That is
responsibility.
horrifying. What he did was so inappropriate. It beggars my mind. I can't even begin to start. The daughter has the right not to want to go see her father under under that situation. Again, Sam, I'm starting to stutter. I'm just so
Upset.
horrified.
Lou, you have a daughter, right?
What?
You have a daughter,
Yes.
and you're separated, right?
Yes.
So how do you think that would fly if you did that?
I wouldn't. First of all, I would not do that.
I'm glad.
What's your thoughts on it then?
My thoughts are, I don't know the guy.
Yeah.
At minimum, at best, at the most optimistic, it was a really ham-handed attempt to address
Her.
blossoming sexuality.
Right.
And by the way, tying a sleep problem together with orgasms is pretty presumptuous, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like this guy's at the most optimistic, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's the most optimistic, giving him the benefit of
Got
the
a
doubt.
drinking problem, maybe, I don't know.
Giving him the benefit of the doubt that there's nothing nefarious going on here. He's at least an idiot, just an absolute idiot. And you have problems with a 16-year-old girl. You have a discussion. That's something that never should be done unilaterally.
Exactly.
Right? Among separated parents.
Yeah.
That would be my point.
Make a phone call. Why is she having trouble sleeping? What do you think we can do? How can I help?
I want to give her a vibrator. So
No.
will that work? No, at least you would tell about it, right?
Yeah.
That would have been.
And
that would have been better.
You would have known what the answer would have been. But yeah.
But to make all those assumptions and do that unilaterally without having discussion, because I'm guessing he's not the custodial parent.
No, because she visits him. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So
you must have visitation rights.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's every other Wednesday and every other weekend, or
Who knows?
whatever that's standard, but whatever it is.
No clue.
He's not with her every day. He doesn't have a mother-daughter relationship with her, so he doesn't understand the source of her sleeping problems. So
And quite frankly, he's not a woman either,
and he's not a woman.
because he doesn't.
I don't know if that makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think?
It makes a difference to me in that I'm guessing her relationship with her mother is a little bit closer.
Well, wait a minute. Also, a woman understands her own self, her own body, more than a man would.
Yeah, but that again is making an assumption that this is sexual in nature, and I don't think it is. She's having
Gave her a
sleeping
vibrator.
problems.
Wait a minute. Hello.
No, I know, but I think that was wrong, and I think that's a bad assumption.
Right.
I don't think her sleeping issue is necessarily attached to something sexual.
Exactly, but he does. So that shows there's a difference between the two right there in the mindset. A woman would have never done that, right, Janet?
But that's not because he's a man; it's because he's an idiot.
Who's an idiot man?
Well, I understand your point, but it's not a mistake I would make. It's not a mistake you would
No.
make because we're males.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a problem. I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
Again, at optimistic, he's just an idiot. At your reading, he's a real asshole. But it might be anywhere on that range. But you have a discussion with your co-parent, right?
Definitely.
Especially about a 16-year-old girl. For God's sake, who the hell? What guy thinks he understands what a
Nobody
16-year-old
does.
girl
I don't
is
even
going
understand
through,
the
right?
woman. Never mind a girl.
That's just
Got enough problem with that.
the 16-year-old's having 16-year-old girl's having a problem. I know exactly what to do. That's an idiot. That's just an idiot. Talk to the mother too. God, it's just stupid. It's so stupid.
So do you want to know what Dear Abby says?
What? Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
because we kind of
Yeah.
tramped on this. By the way, it's signed Overstep Boundaries.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Clearly.
Dear Overstep Boundaries, speak up. I agree that Lily's father did what Lily's father did was inappropriate. Janet, can you read this? My reading sucks. You know that. So
Yeah.
it's just easier.
So the answer.
It's folded. It's right there. It says overstepped.
Okay. Speak up. I agree that what Lily's father did was inappropriate. Further, he embarrassed his daughter and he owes her an apology. At 16, if she no longer wants to go to his home, she should not be forced to. The attorney who handled your divorce can make this clear to him. P.S. If Lily wants to throw her father's gift away, reassure that it's her privilege.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was a good answer.
Yeah. That he's got
That's pretty much what we said, though.
He's got to attempt to
Except for
repair
the-
his relationship with his daughter.
Oh, definitely.
And at 16, it is.
I don't know if he can, be honest with you. I
Well-
mean, that's pretty traumatizing if I was a woman and
Oh,
I'm not.
yeah.
A young girl, especially.
Yeah.
Sensitive and vulnerable, and she is.
Well,
Just saying.
I'm not sure that this is going to get me in trouble. I'm
Cool.
not sure that's true with all 16-year-old girls.
What does that mean?
That all 16-year-old girls would be traumatized. If you're particularly sensitive about the subject, yes, you'd be traumatized. I'm sure there are 16-year-old girls who could just laugh it off. I'm sure there are 16-year-old girls.
There are 16-year-old girls that kill their parents, but that's
Yeah.
besides the point.
Right. And I'm sure there are 16-year-old girls who would say, "The guy, just an idiot. You can't,
I know what you're saying, and I agree with it. My viewpoint is from my age level, and I am just horrified by it.
Yeah.
There's no innocence left for young kids nowadays, and that breaks my heart for them.
Yep.
You know?
All right, we're coming down to the other end of the show. Do we have any more we want to dish in here? I mean, we are getting close to the end here. Somebody,
Let's see.
somebody grab one.
Okay, I'll take this one.
Yep, Jan got one.
My wife and I have been married for 23 years. We have a good marriage, but there's one thing that drives me crazy. She's a stay-at-home mom, and I work full-time. At dinner time, she has the habit of reading a book as she eats when I would much rather converse. How can I break her of this habit? All right, I'm going to jump in. I think what she's doing is rude. No wonder her husband feels excluded and left out. I like to read too.
Yeah.
But he works all day. He comes home and he wants to have some attention.
Who reads and eats, by the way? You read and eat at the same time?
Because
Jan-
I'm a very slow eater and I
Mhm.
have to be very careful.
When Jan went through the cancer, because she had lots of radiation, it closed the throat up very
Yep.
much. So she has to be very careful eating. And she does take her time with it. And she does read when she eats. And I understand that. To me, it's one of those things you draw your own battles, and that in the scheme of things, that is not that important.
But
I can live without it.
I wait until he finishes. I mean, he'll get up and go
She'll
off and
close
do
it.
other
She'll
things.
close her book, and I'll often say, go ahead, you can read, hon. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not even addressing that part of it. It's just the act of reading and then eating with a fork and a spoon.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I do
She
get
does
food on my blouse or whatever, but
You're a slow eater. If you're a slow eater,
Yeah.
I mean, not like me. I can wolf down stuff pretty quick.
it takes me at least a half an hour, even for something simple.
I always tell her, go ahead and start, honey. She'll wait for me a lot of times. Go ahead and start, honey, because I'll be done way before you.
Well, this
But-
is an extension of people being on their phones when they should be interacting. And
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah, but
thing.
then again,
And she's got all day to
is
read.
it such an important battle? I mean, is that really what you want to draw the line on? Is
Because he
reading
feels
at the table?
he feels
Well,
left
let her.
out.
Yeah, so you tell her about it, and if she can't break that habit, you deal with it. You let it go. I
Wait
mean,
a second. You would strike me as the type of guy who would want a dinner table. In other words, don't bring the phones. Don't bring, turn the TV off. Let's sit
in a
and have-
perfect world, that's perfect, but the world
Yeah.
is not perfect.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to overlook certain things in marriage. There are bigger battles to draw than that. If that's the only damn thing that she does, then you know what? Live with it. Suck it up. Is what the theme of the show is.
I guess. Yeah.
Suck it up. And pick another battle. But
I think that's what she's doing is hurtful to him because he feels left out. He's worked all day. He's tired.
They can have a
Mhm.
conversation after supper. Did you ever think of that? I mean, they could sit up and cuddle time, a snuggle time, get rid of the dog, and have their conversation.
Well, that's my opinion.
I understand totally, and I don't know the situation why she likes to read or whatever, but on the grand scheme of things, to me, it's not that important. I mean, there are a lot more things important in life than not getting the attention while you eat or whatever. So it is what it is. That's
But
my
that's
thought.
part of what's wrong with society nowadays is families don't have mealtime together. Like when I grew up, every night we all sat together.
But no marriage is perfect. We all have our faults. You have to overlook some for the greater good.
Yes,
and that's
thank you
what you
for
do.
not letting me finish what I was going to say.
And I will, because you're pontificating. Go ahead.
Our whole society has changed from since I was born in 1950. Supper time was holy. The
Yeah.
whole family got together, maybe even multi-generational. They, conversed and came together. And that was very important. Unfortunately, it seems that so many families are so busy. The kids are involved in sports after, the parents come home, blah, blah, blah. So it's very hard to get a family to be together nowadays. Or they don't even cook. They'll get stuff sent to their house or bring it home, whatever it is. So I just think that's an indication of society. And it's sad.
We've got to wrap it up. So
Yes.
yeah,
Well,
okay.
you asked my opinion. That's my opinion.
I know, but still got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think there's something that needs to be mentioned here, though. Things land for people different ways.
Mhm.
And for some reason, this guy, and I'm not saying it's unreasonable, but for some reason, this guy has taken great offense to her reading during that time at supper. May be unreasonable, especially to her, or may not be the same priority it is to her, but she also has to have some acknowledgement that this means that to him,
Mhm.
that it means something to him to converse with him and accommodate that to an extent. We've all got to accommodate priorities for our partner that aren't necessarily our priorities.
Right. Jan, what are you doing?
She's wrapping it up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay, so we want to thank everyone for listening. Remember, send your questions, your whatever comments you get to us here at the Affection Connection on our Affection Connection Facebook page, or you can email me at anyghostproject@comcast.net. And we're going to wrap up the show. And remember, in the words of the great Vanilla Ice, you got a problem, we'll solve it. Have a great night, everyone.